Hello, hello, hello! We're live! We are live indeed. At least I think we are live. Whoops, that is the wrong input. This is the correct input I was looking for. Welcome! Welcome to anyone tuning into the stream. How's it all going, everybody? Oh, I suppose I should probably put this bad boy on. It's a pretty exciting night in the world of Pokemon Sleep. We're getting new Pokemon. Some of the stats are already live. Hello, good sir. Hello, Danny Phantom 0017. Sam RV8TP Azor Orandor 6249. Welcome. Is Salamence Berry? We'll get right into that pretty soon. It looks like it is. From what I saw. Stats are crazy. I guess we'll find out soon. I'm just making sure I do my due diligence to get the pin on. The special pin. Oh, I just realized. Where's the hat? I haven't worn the hat in a while. I think I left it upstairs. Well, I guess I will be without the hat for now. Anyway, yeah, is it possible to time travel and set my phone on New Zealand time and go to Amber Canyon now? Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't recommend it because there are some weird things that happen with time travel in this game, but only time will tell. Now, as far as Salamence is a dragon, not a berry. Well, Salamence is a dragon, not a berry, but yes, it's berry specialist from what I saw. Now, it looks like they don't have all the data yet. I don't see a frequency listed here, which is kind of what's most important. It's got cooking power up, which is interesting. Now, I guess we'll come back to all the new Pokemon, I guess, as time goes on, but I am shocked. There's one of you guys that I thought was absolutely crazy. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought one of you guys was absolutely nuts when you were suggesting in the comments. I forgot who it was, but Flygon. One of you guys was suggesting that you thought Flygon was going to be the avocado Pokemon. And shout out to whoever it was, because you were completely right. I thought this was nuts, because I thought they would never put the new ingredient specialist so early. I thought they would save it for the Amber Canyon to be the location for it. But there was that one guy in the comments that got it absolutely right. Flygon's going to be the ingredient specialist that's Mono Avocado, which I think is the more interesting thing. Try to increase the volume if you can. I can decrease the volume of the music. I actually don't know how to increase the volume of the headset in Streamlabs, or my mic in Streamlabs. I can check properties, see if there's a way to go beyond 100. Yeah, Streamlabs locks it at 100. It's at max, so I don't know if I can really change anything. Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna even an hour. Can't stay up like I did Monday. Fair enough, fair enough. So Crustle is DOA then? Not necessarily. Crustle's got some interesting stuff going on as well. It's its own unique thing. It's a skills specialist. I think realistically, ABC is probably going to be the best spread on this thing. It's a skills specialist with the new ingredient draw, which is intriguing because ABC, it's the same ingredient list as what's down here as what it has, and in the right proportions for the new meal. So I think this is their... If Crustle isn't good, then they have failed ingredient draw as a skill. This is the best attempt they've made at it. He nailed pretty much all three. Oh, it was Joel Darashinsky in the Discord. They wrote a comment on one of the news videos you did called The Berry, Dragon, and Flygon Avocado. Nailed pretty much all three. So funny, I guess they thought it was going to be too powerful if the avocado farmer was favorite berry too. I mean, maybe. I mean, this could theoretically be an avocado farmer. Maybe this will actually be a better avocado farmer. I doubt it. It depends on how often its skill procs. It depends on a couple other factors as well. Also, interestingly, because there are less ingredients in the ingredient draw pool here, it's going to be more reliable to produce the right proportions, because there's less factors to potentially be out of play. But also, notably, the new meal. The one meal that it, let's see. This meal, avocado gratin. It takes mostly oil. Takes mostly oil, and then, like, potatoes and avocados in roughly equal proportions. This makes the same amount, so ingredient draw, the Crustle having oil be the C ingredient means that, like, an ABC Crustle is probably gonna... I'm imagining they're gonna make it that it procs about enough, has enough ingredient productivity, supplementing it, that it's probably gonna be able to reliably make this. That's my prediction, that a good one will reliably be able to make this gratin, given that it's gonna be making a little bit more oil with the C ingredient, but I guess we'll only find out. It looks like they don't quite know what the odds of getting each one is yet. They have it set as 1 in infinity for each one, so yeah. I'd rather go for Flygon instead of Crustle in general, with seeds being so scarce, even if it ends up producing more. Fair enough, especially if you're a free-to-play player, that would make sense. Skills Mons are so rough given the skill seed economy. That is fair as well. Happy with Salamence ingredient spread. I need more potato action outside of Sprigatito line. Yeah, it is kind of cool to have potatoes on a Berrymon. Oh, yeah, that's something I didn't really touch on. Potatoes, ginger, and sausage. I don't really know what that can do in terms of ingredient spread, but I don't think we've had any potatoes on a Berrymon yet. So, at least not at base. At least not at base. So that's a difference, but... Okay, potatoes. Potatoes and sausage are both in Defiant. Potatoes are in the gratin as well. Ingredient draw skill gives a random ingredient though, right? It's all of one ingredient at one time, so difficult to plan around. Yes. I don't think it's difficult to plan around though. Every time someone says that inconsistency is difficult to plan around, that means that you just don't plan around it. Always keep like 2 to 3 crafts of the meal in your bag, and if it dips below that, then you just... And you don't dip into it because there's an excess, because it's... The calculator works with averages. As long as you are disciplined with it, it's not difficult to plan around, it just means you have to plan around it. Instead of being like, oh, I got excess potatoes today, I'll just use those as filler. You do that, then you've taken away now the potatoes for the future when you have that deficit. So, we have 800 ingredient bag space. Use it. That's one of the biggest arguments against mono meta, or against the anti-mono meta that I've kind of promoted, that a lot of people like use to support the mono meta. Is like, oh, it's more consistent. That's true. It is way more consistent, but if you intelligently plan around it, you don't need consistency. You just need the average to be right. I said doubtful. Yeah, I did say doubtful. I thought it would be a crazy idea that they would put the mono avocado farmer at an earlier island. I thought for sure they would make it. That kind of makes me wonder, what is Salamence's base frequency? Because that information's not available to us yet. As you can see, it's listed here on the website. We have it for Crustle, we have it for Flygon. We don't have it for Salamence yet, which surprises me. I would have thought somebody would have just candied their Salamence all the way to be an insane person and then tell us what its frequency is, but... Because we only need one, like... ingredient rates and skill rates, those are much more difficult to figure out. Which, it looks like they're kind of figuring it out for Crustle already, but... these are unsettled. We'll discuss more as time goes on and these numbers do eventually settle, but yeah. Random side note, are you able to improve the video quality for these streams? Seems like there's a drop compared to your regular vids. The quality? That could be the case. I use a different platform for the streams nowadays, because I use Streamlabs instead, because I don't know if there's a way to get chat with regular OBS. There's definitely a change in the volume. I've had that noted before. But I don't know if there's a difference in the quality output. I can see what the settings are, but... Okay. Gratin is how it's pronounced rather than gratin. Oh, I guess I was thinking it was like poutine from Canada. I think that... I don't know. Anyway, gratin. Okay, gratin. Shaving... Although maybe I'll keep pronouncing it gratin just to play on the bit more. Okay, should I even consider migrating to green grass for these Mons if I don't have Amber Canyon yet? Well, they're not going to be there at green grass this week. They're only there during the event, so don't migrate to green grass for them. That would be pretty sad because they're not going to be there. Gave Salamence cooking power up. That's actually pretty good on a Berrymon. I mean, it'd be more impressive if it was like Tasty Chance. Tasty Chance would be more impactful. I think the ingredient I'll be lacking most for grind will be oil, and I'm too lazy to look up the candidates. You know them offhand. There's a lot. Toxicroak, Cramorant, Ditto, Luxray. I'm probably missing one because there's a lot of oil mons. The best ones, though, most reliable ones are Luxray and Toxicroak. Yeah. Okay. How long does it take for the numbers to settle? To a reasonable estimate, at least. It can take hours. It depends on how popular the Pokemon is. I imagine Flygon's going to be pretty fast, because a lot of people like Flygon. It's a little bit easier to get to the right level. I imagine Crustle might take longer, because how many people are actually catching Crustle right now? It's kind of a less popular Pokemon, so I imagine this will probably take longer, but it looks like they have initial estimates for this right away, so maybe I'm wrong there. Salamence, I could see it taking the longest, but it's also the one that matters the least for, since really with a Berrymon, all we need to know is the frequency, which the moment a single person sends in a Salamence, the only reason why we have its specialty and everything is because its pre-evolutions should theoretically be the same. And we just assume that they're the same, because that would be crazy if it wasn't. But nobody's evolved a Salamence yet, so we don't even have the frequency. Once one person's evolved one, we'll have that data. Check your YouTube settings that you're watching streams with quality settings and not data saver viewers. Oh, that would make sense. As a mention. Hello there. Flygon's ingredient spread next to the guacamole dish is kind of hilarious. Yeah, it's okay. It's avocado, herb, soybean. Avocado, herb, soybean. So they're, but it's backwards, kind of. It produces all three, so it's an interesting herb farmer if you have an ABB. Unfortunately, the soybeans, which is the one that you need in the least amount, is the one that it produced the most of, so there is a bit of an unfortunate thing there. But it's interesting that it covers all three ingredients there. Once again, I think the devs understand that there is a nice thing when there is dish synergy, so they try to make it synergistic. But at the same time, they also wanted to give us a mono for avocado. Okay. Video resolution is worse than recorded videos. Not sure if you need to bump up the bitrate. Okay, let me see what my settings are. Let's see. I'm not too familiar with, I'll be 100% honest, I'm not the most familiar with, Streamlabs. It's more a recent change that I made, so I apologize if there are a little bit of comparisons, but haha, drive engagement mispronunciation like top folks are winning this week. Well, maybe, oh yeah, this week is it available? Is Flygon available this week at top? I actually don't know. I can't imagine it wouldn't be. But anyway. So I have Sylveon this week with an E4E at level 5 would actually be better than Wiggly level 2 for E for E. Pretty much, if there's a difference in main skill level, very rarely will the worse one be, like, higher level main skill makes way more of an impact than, like, anything else when it comes to, any main skill, really. As a general rule. You need someone, and being 3 levels difference, yeah, the Sylveon's gonna be way better. You need someone with, like, 300 candy or whatever. Really wasn't expecting Luxray. I think my best one out of those might be an AAB one I have. Then I got, well, if you want an oil one, it's probably gonna be ABB, usually speaking. Especially being an ABB oil specialist, even missing one of those two versus missing 3, like, makes a much bigger difference than usual. Interesting that they're making the mono available as early as top. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Kind of makes sense for avocado on Trapinch at top as to not gatekeep avocados. See, my thing there is like people say that, oh, it's not going to gatekeep avocado. They've gatekept the other new ingredients. Like, this is new. You're saying it makes sense, but this is new. Granted, they make them available earlier on by giving us options, but all the early game options have some sort of innate problem. That being in Comfey. Comfey 16-pit Pokemon and sucks. That's the early game option for corn. Clodsire is the early game option for coffee. It's an ABB Pokemon, which means by the time that you get it to level 60 to actually get a decent amount of coffee, you're probably at Old Gold Power Plant anyway. And even then, it's also not very good for coffee. So, like, it's new if there's a mono option available that soon. Okay. You see the bundle news? I mean, didn't I talk about the bundle news in the last stream? The bundles, I thought the bundle information's been live for a while. Anyway, I wonder if it's my YouTube settings. It's probably my Streamlabs settings. Wait, settings. Let's see. Wait a minute. I might have found the settings to change the bitrate. Output. What's a good bitrate? I just changed the bitrate. I doubled it. Tell me if that made a difference. Oh wait, it didn't save. I probably need to end the stream and then restart it if in order to get it to work. For it to actually update. Anyway, 17.2% ingredient rate on Flygon. Is that the initial estimation? Oh wow, it's already settled. So we're already, wow, people have confirmed that fast. I think that's the fastest I've ever seen a Pokemon settle. Well, we already have the numbers for Flygon then. It wasn't even flashing. That's crazy. Okay, so how much is a base? Oh wait, what? It's only showing 20% here. Will I need to refresh this? Is that the thing that I need to do? It's using the 20% here. I might have to manually hand calculate until they actually get it on live on the entire website. It is fixed, but yeah. Oh, and it's Charge Strength S. They gave it the pseudo treatment on a non-pseudo, but then the pseudo is a berry specialist. Mudkip is early for corn. Yeah, but okay. That's also way later on that it got released, and also that also has a problem for that as well. I also think Dedenne has corn at 60. Once again, innate problems with them, like berry specialists not reliably making it. So, realistically, if you want good amounts of corn, you need to make it to Lapis. If you want good amounts of coffee, you need to make it to Old Gold Power Plant. The same cannot be said about avocados. Okay, production lags behind sometimes. Huge Flygon fans down at Random X, evidently. Well, it's more just in Japan, because they just gather information from the earlier time zones. And then, yeah, and usually it's Japanese people reporting, who travel to the earlier time zones. And other people. Actually, it's not just Japanese people. It's about the diehards that are willing to time travel to Kiribati. It's all those people, those Pokemon Sleep players in Kiribati. Let me tell you. 3,500 beat rate is decent for streams. Should be able to hit 720, I think, with my limited tinkering on Twitch. Curious if you all are going to be using a good camp ticket for the event weeks. I'm going to. Pseudos have been Charge Energy S. Yes, they have been so far. Flygon's, or Salamence, they're changing that up. It's Cooking Power Up instead. Flygon has been given the quote-quote pseudo treatment, but it's no longer a pseudo treatment. It's now just, I don't even know what to call it anymore. I referred to it as the pseudo treatment in the past, but it's not. Because Salamence is different. Speaking of which, have we gotten Salamence's frequency yet? No, we have not. Okay. Okay, so 3,500 bitrate for a stream. I'm just gonna Google, because I could probably stream in 1080p. I've got pretty good internet, so... 25 Mbps. Okay, 6,000 is what Google said there. Okay. If Salamence can get a really short helping frequency with Yachi berries, it'll be a beast. I'm guessing it'll be a beast. Sujo's charge energy, not charge strength. Yeah, I meant charge energy. If I said it wrong, then sorry. Bundle S with bag and incense is so hype. Yeah. Okay, well, this is gonna sound crazy, but I want to make sure you guys have a decent bit rate, because it's that you can actually kind of read the information in front of you if you want. So I'm gonna shut down the stream, change the bitrate settings in my OBS Streamlabs, and relaunch the stream immediately after.